Welcome to episode 17, season 3, Talks with Dorks. I don't know why it's been such a stutter to get this one started, but it's probably because we don't have a fucking clue what we're about to talk about. Because I wasn't even prepared for this episode. I wasn't even prepared to be here. This is just, yeah. Welcome to season 3, episode 17 of Talks with Dorks. Whatever this may be called, whatever this may be about, it would have been about Superman, but one of us still hasn't gone to see it.
Hi.
Yeah, I've read the audiobook.
Yeah, it'll be out on Blu-ray by the time Kurt goes to see this film.
I wanted to see it this weekend and missed the
Make up an
chance.
excuse about your wife being sick.
No enough because
Yeah,
you got one.
the second I put that in the group chat today, I'm like, he's not going to believe me for a single second that was the real reason.
I smelled the bullshit written all over it.
Honestly, I'm looking at showings for like I finish work like 2 hours before my missus does, and I'm seeing if there's like any showings that start at like bang on 4 o'clock. The cinema's like 2 doors down from where I work. I'm literally just saying like if there's any chance to just bail out of work, sprint down to the Odeon and go and watch it, I'm taking it this week.
Right, you better, because you've got a week. If not, next week you've got a week off, right? Because we need to talk about this film. But I have got a little bit of good news, right? Because did I mention on the last episode, or I mentioned before, about Ash, and Ash's opinion on this could be like, because again, going back to the beginning of this podcast, there was every week there was a running joke about us bashing DC and bashing Warner Brothers because of things going on, because it was a really tough time for a DC and Warner Brothers fan with products like Mortal Kombat, which, by the way, I hope you both seen that trailer because we'll talk about that in a second.
Oh, I was going to bring that up. Yeah. Oh, I need to talk about the Mortal Kombat trailer.
The first Mortal Kombat film come out, which I actually quite enjoyed, but there was just that really weird aspect of that main guy who wasn't a character in Mortal Kombat that didn't get.
You know what? You know why they did that? Is because that you know that was a bit of studio meddling of like, oh, you need to have like an audience avatar for the people who are not familiar with Mortal Kombat. I'm like, there is not a single person unfamiliar with Mortal Kombat who is willingly going to see this movie. We all know these characters. We don't need like an audience in, so to speak, apart from maybe the partners of the people who are massive nerds who've been dragged to it. But
the game's been out. What? The game's come out
1993, I think.
So the people that were 18 then are like in this, about to hit 60 or in their 60s.
Yeah,
that were playing it then. Let alone us kids that were playing it, because we weren't allowed to.
Even then, we're hitting 16 years since the sort of reboot timeline kicked in with Mortal Kombat 9, the one that came out in I think 2009 for the Xbox 360 PS3 generation, where the game was it was the storyline of Mortal Kombat's 1, 2 and 3 kind of retold, and everything that's come out since then has been kind of following that timeline. So we're 16 years since that, let alone how long it's been since the original games came out. Like, there was nobody watching that film who didn't know what they were coming to see, who needed it explained to them.
It was a weird aspect. I mean, I've noticed he's back in it, so hopefully look, he's part of the lore now. There's nothing we can choose with that film. He's in it, but I hope they do better. I just weren't keen on everything else, mate. Scorpion is my guy. Scorpion in that film was unbelievable. And Laferde, have you seen this trailer?
No.
All right, okay. You sit there.
Well, it's been a good episode, guys.
I'm learning. Yeah, don't worry.
You take it. Did you see the last Mortal Kombat film?
No, I'm not a Mortal Kombat guy.
You're a Street Fighter kind of guy, innit? You're Sean.
No, I was Tekken.
94 kind of
No,
stuff.
he's dead or alive. He's in it for the jiggle physics.
I was Tekken, mate. Tekken all the way.
You're so young.
Thank you.
No, mate.
You say young. I think the first Tekken's like 95. Like, it's not that.
Kurt, stop taking this away from me, please. I was having a bad day until now.
Honestly, my favorite thing with the fighting games will always be anyone who says, "Oh, I was a big Dead or Alive fan. That was my game." And like, you were literally in it for the boobs. Don't pretend you weren't. Like,
I haven't played it.
Honestly, Dead or Alive is a fighting game very similar to Tekken or King of Fighters. Not that similar to Mortal Kombat, because Mortal Kombat's kind of 2D. Even when it's 3D, it's 2D. Whereas, Tekken, like, you're moving around in the 3D space. Dead or Alive is very similar to Tekken in that way. However, it is the game that popularised the phrase jiggle physics, where, let's put it this way, any female character, let's put it this way, certain elements had a life of their own. And it's also the game that had its own spin-off beach volleyball series, which I'm 100% certain is a coincidence.
I remember that.
Yeah. So anybody who tells me that Dead or Alive was their fighting game of choice because it was the best game of the bunch, no, you were in it for the tits. Don't pretend you weren't.
Like with Tekken, like I loved that game, and King was my guy in that one. Why did I go on a tangent about Mortal Kombat? It was about Ash.
Warner Brothers.
And we ain't even really officially started this episode. Like, I forgot all about the stuff I said we were going to talk about later and stuff. But Ash, obviously, you said we had this beginning of the podcast where it was just DC and Warner Brothers bashing. So we've been through it as big DC fans. Both of us are big DC fans. I was nervous about his opinion because I love this film, but then, like I said, I love The Flash, and I didn't see no fault with it until I really watched it again and just realised I was only in it for Michael Keaton. The Flash was my number one DCEU movie on the list me and him once did.
I mean, it's a low bar to clear, mate.
No, Man of Steel should be up there.
Yeah, Man of Steel is a great film.
Anyway, Superman 2025, because that's where we're at now. Superman 2025. Obviously, we all know I'm looking up because I love it. Laferde, I don't know where you're looking.
Just anyway, it don't matter, does it?
Kurt's only looking at cinema listings. He's not actually going to the cinema. But at this point, Kurt, you could probably get it online, mate. Just go and watch it.
It's on the Fire Sticks.
Go and watch it in fucking IMAX if you can. But
You've seen it? Are you seen it or seeing it twice at this point?
I've seen it twice.
Yeah, thought you had.
Have we not spoke about how much the cinema cost me on Friday?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had that conversation in the chat.
I'm sure we had. I don't think we've had it on here because we haven't recorded since. I went to the cinema with Jacob. I still need to tell my Ash story. I went to the cinema with Jacob and his friend from school, Frank, and I went to see it in IMAX. We went all the way to Crawley, went to see it in IMAX. So 3 IMAX tickets cost me £60. The popcorn stand cost me another £115.
what?
£175 at the cinemas. So, Superman has definitely made a bit of money out of me this time. So, yes. And I say that with 4 brand new Superman Funko Pops sat behind me as well that I acquired over the weekend. Thank you, Paul at the Geek Garage, for hooking me up with these.
And in other news, the Talks with Dorks Patreon is patreon.com/TalkDork podcast.
We now have a £15 a month tier where you just get to look at Ryan's Funkos whenever you want.
It's just rhyme with a beggar's bowl, just please.
Yeah, so I went to see it Friday, and ironically, Ash was going to see it around the same time as me, and then I was having to leave here and drive back to Essex to go to work, and I got a text off him, and it just read, "So I've seen it." And I was like, so Ash isn't a Superman guy; he's a Batman and Green Lantern guy. So this was a tough. Like, this was already a tough sell. Like, it's a new universe, and he made it clear before. I really like Man of Steel. They let me down ever since. That is his opinion.
I mean, if he's a Green Lantern guy, I mean, oof. You want to talk movies?
Yeah. Again, exactly. And there's a Green Lantern in this. So he texted me this, and I rang him, and I went, right. And he went, "Yep, I've seen it." I'm like, okay. He went, "Look, I really wanted to love this film. I really wanted to love this film. For your sake, for my sake, as a DC fan's sake." And I was like, all right. And he went, "And I did." And I went, "Pardon?" He went,
That sounds happy about it.
Because he's a wrestler, remember? He's selling it. He's trying to work. He's working me. So I went, "You did?" He went, "Yeah." I went, "Yes." And then we had about a 30-second conversation. I wanted to know everything about it. But he goes, "Gotta go, I'm getting on the bus." And he hung up. And I was like, I'm going to kill him. But then I had a longer conversation with him over the week. He knew I weren't going to let it go. But he was very happy. He said, "I'm still dubious." He goes, because again, Man of Steel started a universe, and I've got it now. He goes, "But I've got hope," and that is important because it's Superman. he doesn't know I thought this, but the fact that he said hope when we're all talking about Superman, talking about that film has hope, that film, like, because that's what Superman brings. I was like, yes,
It's what the S means.
yeah, but that's in Zack Snyder's universe. Trust me, wait till you see this film. This one in this film, it means crypto. Could have chose anything else. First word I thought of was crypto. That was kind of weird. But yeah, Ash is happy with it. So I'd like to know your opinion, Kurt. I'd really love to spoil the fuck out of this film and have a conversation about it.
I loaded up. I loaded up Instagram this morning, and the first reel that popped up was someone reviewing the film. I was like, absolutely fucking not swipe.
To be fair, you're very lucky. Be careful. I know you're probably very. You won't admit it, but you're probably very well deep in about a 3-hour scroll on TikTok a night now. Ever since opening TikTok, I'd be very careful because I've seen most of the film on TikTok.
Yeah, I am. I'm practically on a media blackout at this point, which has made my lunch breaks at work fun. Just sitting there raw dogging it in the canteen, just like not looking at the phone. I need to see this film, man. I can't wait till the weekend.
Yeah, I need you to see it because otherwise next week, like I said, you can have if you want a week off, don't go see it because I need to talk about it. Yes, well, like, hang on, what else? Open this podcast. Let's actually open this podcast before I forget everything and we just start diving into more Mortal Kombat. Oh, a little bit of Dexter talk if anyone's been watching. The third, you probably should have had that off tonight, mate.
I probably should have, you know what? I should have done. But we're here now, aren't we, sir?
I've got a bit of Judge Dredd. I've got Judge Dredd news as well, Laferde. Are you familiar with Judge Dredd?
Fucking hell.
I mean,
Help me out, man.
This is so. Listeners, viewers, whatever you're doing tonight, just sit back and just listen to us have a laid back conversation because it's probably going to be that.
I mean, fuck me, Laferde is.
What about Squid Games? Anyone watching Squid Games? I've got 2 episodes left.
No, I'm going to binge it all.
Pardon?
My dodgy Fire Stick's only got it in like German or something at the moment.
It'd probably be Korean.
No, it's Korean and there's German translation as well for some reason.
Oh, God.
I'm not quite up to date on my Nazi at the moment, so...
Don't use that word. We're gonna get taken down.
Of all the things that you do, we're the ones that get taken down.
I do. I'm the peacemaker on this one. Speaking of peacemaker,
The Fur doesn't watch that either.
No.
anyone? This podcast has become a different kettle of fish these days. We're basically just a wrestling podcast.
Are we actual dorks?
We are just about the things we're dorky about.
Okay, so let's go back to opening the podcast. One thing, I'm going to keep saying it 10 minutes into the podcast. If you are watching this, viewing this, and probably thinking, what the fuck are these guys going to talk about for the next whatever time they're talking about? Just do us a favour. One day we'll give you an episode you will want to watch.
And we'll have a plan.
And subscribe, do all that kind of stuff because we just need you to do it. Like, we're doing all right. We're doing with the subscribers. We had a nice big thank you to shout out to John for the episode last week because gained quite a few subscribers from them guys, and you know what a great episode. Like, people really like wrestling content. Which brings me to TDW TalkDork Wrestling, October 26th. We have Back in Time, our next show. Tickets are on sale right now. There are different versions of tickets. You can even get yourself a t-shirt sorted out. But we've got some TDW news coming up a bit later on, and we have a special video message from one of our tag teams. So that's all to come. Back to whatever we're going to talk about. So, no one's watched Squid Game. Kurt's watched Dexter. Are you up to date with Dexter?
I am not fully up to date, but I have started the new season.
The Resurrection.
Yeah.
Mate, already loving it.
I'm a massive Dexter fan, and I'm having to watch it solo at the moment. I sat on Dexter for a while, and because my other half, she's always been mad about criminology, forensics. That's what she studied at uni. She loves her crime dramas. She's one of those people who are very happily, like, her idea of unwinding is whacking on a serial killer documentary on Spotify or something. This is one of the reasons why I put a ring on it last year, is because I can't leave this woman, because if I ever do, she knows how to hide a body. But So I showed her Dexter, and thinking that she'd absolutely love it. She couldn't get into it because she was really annoyed about the number of like crime scene inaccuracies in there. So I had to watch Dexter solo. So it's part of the reason why I'm behind. But yeah, I've always loved Dexter.
Did you watch it when it originally came out or a later time?
I caught up with it on Netflix like 5 years after the fact.
Right, yeah, yeah. So obviously, I've always made it very, very clear. I love Dexter. Now, the third, as I was going to say,
No,
you have watched it, never watched the thing. Do you know what it's about?
the most Dexter-related thing I've ever watched is Dexter's Laboratory.
I knew you were
Yeah,
going to
it's
say
that. It's that. It's what he does when he grows up.
You don't know, you don't know a thing about it.
No, nothing.
So Dexter is a blood spatter analyst for the police. So his job is he's part of the forensics team, and his job is to analyze like the way blood splattered to understand the crime scene. So
Right.
he works for the police, but he's also a serial killer. He kills people, but he kills people that have done wrong. So murderers, rapists. Do you know what I mean? People that
Yeah,
deserve to
Right,
die.
okay.
but basically his dad noticed when he was young that he had those tendencies, and his
a police
dad kind of
detective.
ingrained a moral code into him to say like, look, I can't stop you from having these urges, and eventually you're going to act on them. Just promise me if you do, you take it out on people who deserve it. So he's essentially a serial killer slash vigilante, but the whole way through the film, like you hear his the TV series, you hear his internal monologue going on about, what he's actually thinking about, and even when he's got the act on where he's acting like all normal, you can hear his internal monologue going of just what's actually going on behind that smile. And yeah, I was fascinated by it. It had a rubbish ending, admittedly, the original
Yeah,
series.
this is what I'm saying. I've always been very vocal about that because the way it had 8 seasons, Laferde, and the way it ended, it's one of the best TV shows I can watch. Season 1 to 7 and half of season 8 at a push easily. But the closer I get to season 8,
It
it did not go in any way the way it should have done, what you expected. It just went weird. Like
Yeah, it suffers from a serious case of Game of Thrones syndrome, which I think had the exact same problem. Like the first handful of seasons, amazing. The last season and a half, 2 seasons worth, fell off a cliff and
Yeah.
ended with a massive whimper. And that's exactly what happened with Game of Thrones. It's exactly what happened with Dexter, which is why I'm so glad that they've got this Resurrection series now. Because we can't leave my boy like that.
Yeah, so the way it ended is terrible. You say Resurrection series, there's been more, right?
I know, but they were also not that great.
Are you joking?
I couldn't get into
You
the
two are
other
about to
ones.
get into the ring on October 26th.
No, wait, hang on. So it ended bad for what, 10, 15 years ago it
Yeah.
ended? Something like that. And then you think, right, well, it's ended in a terrible way. Then they announced they're bringing a new season, New Blood, which
Yeah.
goes off from where it ended. It was like, oh, is this going to be any good? I'm surprised. I loved it. I genuinely loved that season. And then then they did a prequel series which goes back to before we saw him. So when he first starts killing people. And again, I loved that, and the way they casted them actors who played the younger version of people in the original, absolutely unbelievable. Kurt, what is wrong with you?
He doesn't look very impressed.
I can't put my finger on it. I really can't, but I couldn't get in to the other series, like the other spin-offs when they did them. But I've been all in on the Resurrection series so far. So for me, the other two didn't happen. That I've gone from end of previous series, end of original series into this. Tried the other two for one reason or other. My heart wasn't in it, and yeah, this is now the Resurrection series is now my direct sequel essentially.
Fair enough. So yeah, the third, watch it. And if you could watch it all by next week, all 8, 9, 10, 11 seasons.
I'll probably watch it before Kurt watches Superman.
Well, most likely.
Yeah, because this is what I'm saying. I need a backup plan for next week if he doesn't watch it. I need to know, because if he's got the night off, I need you to talk about something. Yeah, but mate, honestly, if you're looking for something to watch, fall down the rabbit hole. It's such a good series.
And fun enough, talking about Game of Thrones, fun enough, bit of Peter Dinklage in the new series.
Yes, and Uma Thurman. There's a great lineup of casts. a great cast line up there.
I thought you were about to say there's a great lineup of cut, but
Yeah, probably good job you cut out there.
Don't know what I was trying to say, to be fair.
For a PG friendly
What
pod.
else have I got? As I said, I've been watching Squid Games, and like I said, we need to speed this up. Right? I'll finish it off. I'm dying to go. We'll finish it off. Bit of Kurt. I just see Kurt's eyes look at the time, going, "We're nowhere near what we should be doing as a podcast. Listen, if we do a half-hour episode, we're doing a half-hour episode. If we've got nothing to talk about, we've got nothing to talk about."
honestly, the last 2 podcasts that I've been on where we've come on with no plan have ended up being like an hour 20, hour 30. Like we just started talking.
But again, I'm trying to make conversations, but one of you haven't watched something. We can't spoil this. We can't spoil that.
This is actually quite fun, just stressing him out.
I'm losing my hair and I ain't got none anymore.
It's coming out your beard.
What else? Do you know what we could mention? Something that literally happened about an hour ago. Because
Nah, don't know what you're about.
Ozzy Osborne has passed away, and we don't usually dive into like people dying, and we do obviously mention about big names dying, but Ozzy Osborne is Ozzy Osborne, man. Like,
I mean, yeah, I mean,
absolute legend.
And honestly, at the moment of recording this, we are recording this out on Tuesday night, the 22nd of the 7th. The news literally broke about an hour ago for us. This is probably going to come out a few days later. So the news might not be that fresh. There might be more details that have come out since then. But, I mean, guys, you want to talk about it. Anyone, there's been comments on videos that we put on the TikTok where people have noticed like my metal merch that I wear. I'm usually repping the Ghost hat or something like that. So that I'm a unapologetic metalhead. So like I was shocked when I read that news today. But like I don't know how. I wasn't going to bring it up because I don't know how how big Aussie fans you guys are. But
I mean, I'm not like a Black Sabbath fan. Like obviously, I grew up in the time. I remember the Osbournes TV show, that kind of era. I know who he is. I respect him. And I think the guy was brilliant. Like hilariously funny. Probably didn't mean to. It instantly made me think of that clip from the Osbournes of him when the beer stealing situation.
Oh yeah.
That instantly makes me think of him when he comes out kicking off that someone has stolen his beers and shouts, "Who stole the beers? You stole the beers." And you see the penny drop in his face. And oh yeah.
that's one of the things I love about Ozzy, especially is like through doing that MTV series, there are loads of people who know and love this man who would never in a million years have listened to his music, but they love the man. And whereas me, like funny enough, I didn't watch the Osbournes, but I love that man for his music. Like I had tickets to go see the tour in 2020, 2021, the one that he had to cancel because of his Parkinson's diagnosis, and I was gutted because I feel like that's it. He's going to retire now. That's going to be it. Yeah, I'm never going to get to see Ozzy live. Then he came back to do that one final show in Birmingham, that reunion show with Black Sabbath, which was absolutely not, no pretense about it. This was his farewell show, and I wanted to go. I so wanted to go. £650 a ticket though. No way I could do it, unfortunately. And I've had to settle with watching highlights and stuff like that. And the moment of recording this, the news has just gone of his passing. Literally 2 weeks, near enough to the day, since he did that show. I do think there's possibly an element of like having done that final show and almost being like on both a mental and physical level, being able to say, I can go now. I'm done. And I actually
about the young blood passing the torch part of it. Well, so it's kind of like.
And you know what? In a way, going back to the whole wrestling side of things, I really liken it to 2014 with the Ultimate Warrior, which I don't know. Again, Laferde, whether you watched that back in the day, but Ultimate Warrior made a
one last time. Isn't it?
He made a final appearance on Raw. Nobody knew he was sick. Nobody knew anything. He made a final appearance on Raw. Did a really impassioned promo, and like probably the best promo he's ever cut. Like this actual,
and he was talking like it was over, didn't he?
A lot of people have said like the man came on live TV and essentially did his own eulogy, like, and passed away the next day. Like whether he knew he was going or whether or not he did that, and then basically his body just went, okay, yeah, you're done now. that's it. Like you've cemented your legacy. You're done. And I don't know whether it was like, Ozzy again did that final show, and then on a mental and physical level, that like his body just went, yeah, you're done. You cannot do any more. That's it. If you're going to end, you've ended it on a high. And a high does not begin to sum it up. Like if you've seen that show, like this, the man was physically, genuinely struggling. Like I've heard a clip of the. It's not an easy listen. I've heard a clip of the raw audio, the isolated vocal from when he was singing "Mama, I'm Coming Home." They've managed to isolate the vocal, none of the guitars, none of the backing music. You can just hear that man on the mic, and it's a hard listen. It almost sounds like quite ghostly, ironically, and he is struggling his way for the song. But you can tell that the man is giving it every last bit of his all. And I've said, like, this is the sound of a king who knows that he's not going to be in control of that kingdom very much longer, but is giving his subjects every last single bit of himself. And it's such a show. And, like, he did most of the show from a big throne, because obviously with the Parkinson's, he couldn't move around much. He was actually strapped into the chair so that, if he had a major attack, that he wouldn't fall out or do himself a mischief. And you could see throughout the show, there was times where he was feeling the crowd and he was feeling it himself, and he tried to stand up, but he's strapped to the chair and he couldn't. And again, it's not an easy watch, admittedly, the show, but the man left literally everything on that stage. And, whether he knew that he was on his way out, or whether it's his body finally saying, yep, you're done, or whether it's pure coincidence, we may never know. More details may have come out since we've recorded this. But one thing that can never be said is, like, whether by design or by coincidence, that man ended everything the best way that a legend like him ever could.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, weirdly, I took to wrestling. That's why I think when I put it in the group, when he went out on his own terms, I was thinking about wrestling then, like, the Warrior, and I was thinking about, like, wrestlers retiring, like The Undertaker going out on his own terms, and people that haven't. And weirdly, I was going down that route, and I suppose because I was having phone calls and stuff, and wrestling was on the mind, but it made me think of that. And yeah, it's like he's had a swan song. He's had a swan song, and he's bowed out, hopefully gracefully. Again, like I say, we don't know the full ins and outs, but what I really hope we don't get in trouble for what we said or what I said, the word. But there is, this potential that is the way things have gone, and I don't know if I agree with that kind of thing, but I don't know. Like, if it meant he went in a very kind of peaceful way, and he went
one way or another. He ended his career in the best way he could in the circumstances. Like, take flashback 2 weeks at the very least. Regardless of what's happened in the 2 weeks since, he knew that was his last performance. Whether he lived for another 2 weeks or 2 years or 20 years, he knew that was going to be his last performance. And, well, at least one thing we can say without a shadow of a doubt, he ended that the best way anyone could. Exactly. If he was bailing out, he bailed out on a high.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Laferde, what's your thoughts on it?
What?
I said, what's your thoughts on it?
I mean, I'm not a massive Ozzy fan or any of that sort of thing.
Okay.
It's a sad situation, though, isn't it? Like, especially when you hear Kurt talking about the details, and obviously Kurt knows way more about that sort of thing than we do in terms of Ozzy and his career. It's just sad, isn't it, really, when you think it comes to end like that? Yeah,
very much so. And it's hard now. It's like we already were discussing how we had nothing to talk about, and now we've just found something to talk about. It's like, how do we now move past that? Well,
you was expecting me to say something sarcastic then as well.
I've got a way of doing that, because I did mention we've got some TDW news. I could actually wrap this up with the amount of TDW news we've got. Again, Kurt, I love your eyesight. I keep catching your eyes go straight up to that clock, and look how long we're doing.
Mate, I've got my glasses off today. I can't see the clock. That is like, that is pure coincidence where my eyes are going.
Before I go into TDW news, have you guys got anything else you want to talk about tonight? Because, like I said, I've got a lot to talk about it as such, and a lot to show. So
Do you know? Do you know what? I think we
Ooh,
could
what's this show?
very briefly come back to the whole Warner Brothers. We mentioned Mortal Kombat in passing, and I won't spend ages on it because obviously the third's not a massive Mortal Kombat fan. However, we talked about in the previous Mortal Kombat movie that they released, but obviously you had that random created cold. Well, I think he said his name was character who again doesn't even exist in the games. They just created him for the movie, so the audience who don't know Mortal Kombat had someone they could relate to. And yeah, again, it might be in the new one. However, the main thing about the new one, and actually seems to be the main protagonist in the new one, is Johnny Cage being
bye
back.
bye.
And not only that, Johnny Cage being played by Carl Urban, who I've always said, if Henry Cavill is king of the nerds, Carl Urban is like Archduke of the nerds. Like he is very close behind. Actually, no. To be fair, no. Second place will and always will be Nathan Fillion. Carl Urban, I think, is probably a close third at this point. But yeah, like I will take any bit of that man that we can. I mean, he's a obviously. I mean, the man's nerd credentials are going ridiculous at this point. He's been Judge Dredd. He's been McCoy in Star Trek. He's been oh god. He's been what was his name in Thor?
Scourge.
Scourge. Thank you.
What's his name in The Boys? Laferde.
The boys,
I haven't watched The
yes.
Boys.
Billy the Butcher.
That's really going to bug me.
Billy Butcher.
Okay. What is it?
Billy Butcher.
Billy Butcher, that's it. Billy Butcher. He's got one of the best facial expressions. Like that, the way of using his smirk is one of the best smirks. That side smile he does is one of the best you'll ever see. And Johnny Cage, well, again, going back to the old, when this film came out, we were talking about Johnny Cage, and I said they better do him justice because he's what they. I liked him in the original, the 1995 one. Who he was, his name's going to bug me. Who played him, but he played Johnny Cage pretty well. I was quite happy with him until they made the sequel and just killed him off in the beginning.
We don't talk about Mortal Kombat Annihilation. That
you mentioned
such
that name
a
again.
bad
You're out of this
film.
podcast. You say that name again, you're out of this podcast. No, it's horrendously bad. But so I said that they need to do Johnny Cage justice, and the fact that they released a teaser trailer, which is Johnny Cage doing his acting, then before they released the official teaser trailer, I'm all in for this film. I'm well happy. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
And Scorpion and what's the other ninja in this one?
Sub-Zero.
No, it's not Sub-Zero in this one. It's the other one.
Okay, Noob Saibot.
The green one.
The Dark Shadow
That's
one.
Chameleon.
The Dark Shadowy
it's
one.
in the
Noob
trailer.
Saibot.
Isn't the one called Reptile, or am I imagining that?
There is
Okay, let's roll through this. Sub-Zero, Reptile, Ermac, Noob Saibot, Cyrax and Sector, Frost, the other Sub-Zero.
Zero Sub. No. Is it?
Yeah, there's two Sub-Zeros. Are we talking Bihan? Are we talking Kuai Lang? I can keep going, mate.
Bihan? Is it Bihan?
Is it the Dark Shadowy one who can kind of create a shadow clone of himself?
Bihan, yeah.
Yeah, Bihan, Noob Saibot. They're the same thing.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's it. Like, I'm in for that. I'm in for it.
And fun enough, Bihan, who was Sub-Zero, but then turns into the Shadow Noob Saibot, they are the same person.
He does, yes. Of course, it does. I wonder if we'll ever get the other, like you said, the other Sub-Zero, the one without the costume.
Is that what's his? I think that's Kuei Lang, and I might be getting that wrong. Someone's going to correct me very quickly.
Or something, isn't it?
Yeah, it is his brother. I'm just trying to remember his actual name, and I'm 50% certain I got that right. But yeah, honestly, I think it's going to be absolutely amazing, and I'm loving the fact that again they're steering more into Johnny Cage being the protag rather than who the F is Cole. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this movie, and again, we've got Shao Kahn making an appearance in this one as well. Who, yeah, I know we don't talk about the second Mortal Kombat film, the original sequel, but they did my boy dirty in that film. Yeah. I mean, yeah, Mortal Kombat Annihilation, Shao Kahn. What did they do to Shao Kahn in
Did you
that
just say
film?
they did him dirty?
In Mortal Kombat Annihilation, yes,
They did everyone dirty in that film.
correct. But considering that's the only at least most of the other characters had the first Mortal Kombat film, which was cheesy but good. You know, Shao Kahn only makes an appearance in the second one so far, and obviously old habits die hard apparently. But he's it was the only movie credit Shao Kahn has currently is the bad one.
True, very true. But yeah, like I said, I'm a lot more hopeful for this. I mean, again, I'm quite happy with Warner Brothers this year, so I'm happy with what they bring out. I don't mind.
Yeah.
Power Ranger news. There has been some news about a reboot coming definitely next year. Is that right, Laferde?
It is, yeah, from what I can see. Been on about filming in London out there in January off the top of my head.
We're all just gonna be hanging around in the
On the
capital,
underground.
just waiting.
That is your job for the next until that starts happening. Laferde, you need to keep on top of that. Find out where it's being filmed, who's going to be there, what dates, and we're going down there and we're going to hang out and meet some Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Or trying to get in it ourselves. They might need extras and background characters.
We are mates with Zordon now. And I mean, look, I'm actually rapping. Oh my god! Oh my god! Guess what I got today?
Ooh. For our listeners, Ryan's apparently left it on his driveway.
I think this is where he went to get his vape.
Morphin Power Rangers, the movie Red Ranger.
Oh, yes.
They had a White Ranger at Smith's today, but do you know why I didn't go for that and I went for the Red Ranger? Even though Tommy is my favourite.
Go on.
Because we have a friend called Paul at the Geek Garage, and he has every single one of them, including the Ninja Falcon Megazord, except for the Red Ranger. So I'm going to go. I'm going to spend more money at Paul's shop then, you know.
So,
Some TDW news now, or is Kurt just desperate to keep this episode going?
No, just funny enough, I was going to ask you, just talking about Power Rangers reboots, because obviously I know, you know, we're Power Ranger fans here, and I'm going to bow to your two's nerdom when it comes to this. Like, I like a bit of Power Rangers, but you two trump me.
a bit. Just a little
And then some. Talking of reboots, I don't think I've ever had this conversation with you myself, so I just want to ask it quickly. And if it's been covered on the pod before, we'll do it quickly and then move on.
Yes, the 2017 movie was good.
That was the question. 2017 movie, where did you stand on it?
I like the film. There was niggly bits. The biggest thing for me that pissed me off about that film that was the fact that 90% of it was an advert for Krispy Kreme. The most all-powerful crystal in the universe, the Zeo crystal, buried under Krispy Kremes.
Yeah.
Is like the fact that there is literally then, after they discover it, there is literally then a scene of Rita just eating a Krispy Kreme. It's like, okay, so you make your money out of the advertising then. No wonder they had them, because Saban don't like spending money on budgets. No wonder they got it. He was like, oh, Krispy Kreme, how much are you going to give us if we make the whole film about you?
Pays for itself.
Is literally the Wayne's World sponsorship skit.
Like, but in all seriousness, it's that's the bit that really bugs me. Other than that, the film's great. I really wish they would have carried it on. It was gritty for like it was the opposite of what we'd seen before, in a sense of this was for grown-ups, like this was for our age. And the costumes didn't bother me. The Zord, again, like other niggly bits for me, it's just like nostalgia bits. Like, excuse me, when they morphed, they didn't call their dinosaurs.
Yeah, that annoyed me that it wasn't a proper
That
morphing
bugs me.
time.
But then made up for it 20 seconds later when Alpha goes, go, go, Power Rangers, and then the theme tune hits and they're running with swords and you hear, go, go, Power Rangers. Oh, I forgot about the morph.
Honestly, for me, Power Rangers stopped being fun the second they steered away from theme songs that kind of called back to that. Like, I watched a compilation on YouTube recently of every Power Rangers theme song. It was a long watch.
Oh, so bad out there.
Yeah, and I realised the exact moment that I stopped caring, and it was when, you know, about halfway through the video, and then it kind of came back by the end. They basically steered away from any musical motifs that called back to Go Go Power Rangers. And then, there was a weird period where, like, there was just random theme songs that didn't even sound remotely familiar. And then they came back. to a Go Power Rangers adjacent sound. I was like, and we're back. This is the Power Rangers I like.
When they realised,
Apparently it is the theme song. That's what does it for me.
It's got to be the right theme song, and yeah, like I said, in 2017, man, I was very much, because they had this idea of 5 stories, and there was a brief outline that season number 2 was going to be Lord Zed, number 3 was going to be Zeo. It was like I was in for it, and again, just did what they do with a lot of stuff like that. They just bend it off.
I mean, you talk about Power Rangers being for grown-ups as well. I've always thought that for a kids' TV show, but let's be honest, like, original Power Rangers very much is aimed at kids. I've always thought Lord Zed is a pretty gnarly design for a kids' show.
Yeah, it's a bit
terrified me. He
Yeah,
terrified me.
all the exposed muscle and all that. That can mess a kid up if you
not to
show that to
mention the
them at the wrong
voice as
age.
well.
The voice, yeah, he looked evil. Like he looked more evil in the movie as well. Like that.
Yeah.
The only thing is, he looked about 4 foot shorter. That's that's what kind of calmed me down. I was like, he does look scarier, but
He doesn't look like a recycled radiator in the film, though.
It's a lowercase Z.
Yeah, he looked a lot shorter, like he'd been through the wash. Yeah, I'm all in for Power Rangers. Kurt, am I allowed to talk TDW news? I feel like you're. I don't know why. I feel like you're just like I'm quite happy. I want to say, I've got a missus waiting out there. She's going to go to me. You said 10 o'clock. It's 15:15. I've got to get through this TDW news.
And another thing.
No. Okay. TDW news. TalkDork Wrestling. As you know, as I said earlier, October 26th. Back in Time is happening. And we already have a great lineup of wrestlers that you would have seen in the last show. All I'm going to say to you, the reason I was in such a rush and I wasn't prepared for this episode earlier is because 10 minutes before I jumped on the screen, I got off the phone call to a name. To a British wrestling name that, yeah, you will probably be seeing on October 26th
And it's
Basildon Square Garden.
It's a name you will want to see. It's taking everything in my power at the moment to not spoil it, but like, it's a name you're gonna want to see in that ring.
If you don't know much about British wrestling, Laferde, go.
Still got Power Rangers, where we're going with this?
If you just look up some of the biggest names in biggest names in British wrestling companies, or look up British wrestling names around the UK. This guy will pop up on pretty much most, if not all, of the big name companies. And I mean, won't say, he may be coming because I've known him a long time, and if you do a little bit of looking back at some of these episodes, you may find out who it is. But anyway, we might have a big name.
To be fair, when you were telling us about him, you did say he was a keeper.
That he is.
I like that. Yeah.
I like it too.
Oh, you're doing cheesy jokes about everything now, are you? Okay. I drink to that.
That's just ridiculous.
I mean, also as well as that name, we've got some other amazing names attributed to the show as well on the 26th. The card is very much coming together. We've got some really good ideas of some of the matches that you're going to see. And also, one thing I can say is if you weren't there on the 31st of May, a sizable chunk, if not most, of the names who were involved in that first show are back for the 26th of October in some way, shape or form. So you will get to see some of those amazing guys for the first time if you missed it on the 31st, and again if you didn't quite get enough of them on the 31st.
Now, I actually can confirm that 2 matches are pretty much set. There's a couple of phone calls that need to be made, but I can delve into it more without having to say anything, because basically about a week ago I got sent a video from the Showtime Darlings that we're going to share very, very soon. The Showtime Darlings expressed some concerns, and you'll see it all in the video. There's some issues about what happened on May 31st. And one of the issues was to do with the general managers. Now, if you watch the match, the general managers were there. They were involved in the show, were involved
I
in
mean,
the match.
they established themselves as the special guest referee and enforcer off the back of the Showtime Darlings crashing their promo midway through the show and putting their hands on the general managers in the first place, which then led to Jay and Stalley calling themselves as the referee and the enforcer, which for that main event tag match, Showtime Darlings versus the Pond Bros making their UK tag team debut. Of course, with the new special referee, who've already got a bit of an axe to grind, having had the Showtime Darlings put their hands on them. Let's be honest, it's a wrestling match with a bunch of moving parts and some sour grapes at the very least from earlier on the show. Some stuff happened.
Yes. So, yeah, basically, long and short of it is the GMs might have lashed out a little bit at the Showtime Darlings, which then, that's not indirectly, but led to the Showtime Darlings losing the match to the crowd favourites and the Pombros themselves. So they weren't very happy about that, and they've expressed some concerns and want it dealt with. So while the other guys were at work the other day, I may have contacted our general managers and had a distinctively long chat with them and addressed this, plus the situation arising with Parky and the cosplay nightmare. You notice how I said the name Parky and he leant forward.
You know what? I was actually going to make a point here, and this is going to be out of character, but Parky may have a point here about our general managers. They're causing issues for Parky, they're causing issues for the Showtime Darlings.
Okay, so
This is it, the Laferde heel turn.
Oh no, fuck Parky. But
is that going to be a t-shirt? Kurt can have it designed up. He's pretty good at that.
I was on about my plan for later. But he may have actually come across something and like come onto something without realising.
Okay, yes, and on behalf of us, because, didn't mean to do it without you guys, but the only time I could get hold of Jane and Stalley was on a Monday afternoon when you were both busy. So I had a chat with them. I sat down with them. So what we're going to do is we are going to wrap things up on the podcast, and we're going to hand over to the Showtime Darlings first, and then we're going to hand over to me, Jay and Stalley, and there is some very big news. And off the back of it, like I said, there's pretty much 2 matches confirmed for Never Say Die, more or less, coming off the back of this, and you're about to find out about it. Kurt, you are desperate to say something. What are you going to say?
The only thing I was going to say is, we'll hand over to those videos in a second, and if you want to see everything that's happened in TDW so far, friendly reminder, we are not just Talks with Dorks on YouTube anymore. TDW has its own dedicated channel where you can see, among other things, highlights from Never Say Die and at least one full match, aka our opening match, the first match we ever put on, the Strong Dads versus the Kings of the Ring. But among the videos on TDW, you can see the Showtime Darlings, their altercation with the GMs. You can see what happened at the start of their match with the Pond Bros when it all broke down before the bell even rung. You can see the immediate aftermath of that match where Dexter and David Blackadder livid and ranting outside of the venue. And then, if you want to see the full show and everything that happened during that match, of course, we have the Talks with Dorks Patreon, patreon.com/TalkDork podcast. You can join us at the £3 tier, which really helps us out and allows us to put on bigger and better shows and everything that we want to do for October the 26th and after. But also, if you don't quite fancy subscribing properly, then you can just buy Never Say Die as a standalone payment, £4 for the show, and you can watch it all that way.
Absolutely. I'm so glad you did all that because I would not have remembered it all.
Nope.
I thought you hadn't.
I'm pretty sure in the episode I do a normal wrap up. I mentioned Treefog Grading. If I don't, treefograding.com. Get your cards graded. Use the code TWD15. Get confused with this now. TWD15. Go get your cards graded. Go do that. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. And like I said, TDW is about to kick off on this episode, and I'll put this together as a full episode, and I'll also release the full, I think it's 20 minutes with me, Jay, and Stalley. I'll release that as a separate thing as well for Kurt to put up over on TDW. So If you don't, if you want to end it here, go check it out on that page. Either way, I'm Ryan. That's Laferde. That's Kurt. I'll say see you later, and I'll say it again at the end of the chat we're about to have. Boys, see you later.
See you
See you
later.
later.
Agent Darling, Talks with Dorks has to be the utter height of unprofessionalism. How can those general managers get involved in our match?
I mean, Agent Darling, they ruined our show.
We had it won until those two imbeciles stunned us.
It was out of nowhere.
No DQ, no nothing.
I don't even think they were qualified. You know what? I don't even think they even went to ref school.
Poor Mr. Dexter had to recover miraculously from that injury before we could even finish the match.
You know, some people don't understand the true pain that I go through to entertain the fans that talk with Dorks.
Darling, if we are ever to go back, I want a doubling of my compensation. No, a tripling of my... No, a quadrupling of my compensation.
I want a VIP lounge experience, a gift basket, and a meal by Angela Hartnett.
Agent Darling, you can contact Talks with Dorks, and they can put me in any challenge they like. Anybody, anytime, any place, and I will show them what professionalism looks like. Because my name is David Blackadder, and everybody knows it's gonna be death by Sam.
It's showtime! Woo!
Welcome to a special edition of Talks with Dorks, because this special edition of Talks with Dorks is all about Talk Dork Wrestling, TDW. And TDW wouldn't be its TDW self without its GMs. Our GMs are joining us for a catch-up, the first official proper catch-up since May 31st, Never Say Die. J.E. Stalley, boys. Well, first off, it's the first time we've proper spoke since Never Say Die.
It is.
It's also the first conversation we're having about the future, ironically, back in time, October 26th. First off, let's start where we need to. How are we, boys?
Very well, very well. Yeah. I feel like the show went down an absolute hit. People were talking about it for weeks after, seeing all the clips online. You couldn't avoid it. You know, all you needed to do was go on TikTok, and I'm seeing a video as soon as I go on my feed. Everyone's talking about it. The wrestling world was buzzing, and that's what it's all about.
I said this, like I said, the week after going down TikTok, not having to post a video about the show at all, was just looking at everybody else's, no matter where I looked, videos of people that I didn't even know, like myself, was coming up, and just seeing it. It was just a whole week of just TikTok, feeling like the viral sensation that week was us and what we did and that magic. And honestly, yes, I think there was a couple of issues we will need to hash out. But honestly, as someone that put this on and was nervous about how it could go, because a lot of things could have gone wrong. I mean, we had a ring break, but nobody seemed to complain about it. That's for sure. I've literally seen videos of people saying, yeah, the time went over, but we was having a great time. We didn't care. So that little issue didn't become a problem, I don't think. I think to be honest, that hot it was in there, everyone was quite happy to have an extra break. Go outside.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, to be honest, I am very grateful for everyone that attended. I mean, obviously, myself and Jay being the content creators, we didn't reach for our phone once at the whole entire day. We were obviously very caught up, making sure everything was running fine. But grateful for the people for actually recording the moments for us so we could relive it the day after and the week after and so on. Yeah, it was a very, very special day for the both of us, and I'm sure all involved.
Jay's very quiet. Is he feeling? Are you feeling the same there, Jay?
No, yeah, I was just about to say, as Stalley said, I planned to vlog the whole thing so I could use the footage for myself, but I was that involved and that engrossed, I didn't reach for my phone once. Like you said, didn't reach for my phone once, had to rely on everyone else's content. The ring break, I don't think, like you say, I don't think anyone cared. Like, we sorted it out, everyone just had a great time, like you say, grateful for the fresh air. and it was such a sick event, and I can't wait to be back again.
Well, that's it. We're going forward, and it's cool to say that we're going to the future for the next one, because the next one is themed around Back to the Future, and there's a lot of plans going along. Obviously, we haven't started putting together a match card yet, but there are a couple of things that have been going on from Never Say Die and continuing that you have probably seen, and we need to address them. That's why I wanted to get you guys together as a GMs, because this is your job role to deal with this. There is someone that is obviously close to all of us, one of our friends, but he caused a bit of an uproar. It's Parky. Parky was very frustrated on the day, obviously. We all know that. I think he did a fantastic job in the role he got, but there was also some incidents that happened that ended up him ending on his back with a certain cosplayer. That has now escalated into a bit of a war of words between them on social media. Parky and a chair seem to be having problems as well. He can't seem to upfold a chair properly in his videos. Out. So, okay. Parky, obviously, I wouldn't know Parky if it wasn't for you guys. And Parky's a very close friend of yours. Parky may not have dealt with things in the greatest of ways, but he definitely put on a show, that's for sure. And there is outlying issues that we need to deal with. And let's find out your thoughts on what's going on.
So here's the thing, right? Parky, we know him on a personal level. Parky is a law unto himself, and if he feels a certain way about something, he's not going to mince his words. He's going to say what he wants and how he wants to get it. And on the day, he felt a certain type of way about us. We'll hold our hands up. He wanted to perform, but the thing that I tried to explain to him that I don't think he understood fully is that it's not all about you. We've got all these other people here that we need to cater for. And in his mind, tunnel vision, I'm here, I need to perform, I need to be doing, and that's great. We want that type of enthusiasm coming into the show, right? And if he really wants it, it's simple to me. We give him what he wants. Like, we can put him on the show this time. I don't know about you, Stalley, but I think we just give him Kev. Why don't we just have the rematch? Let's book it now. Why not?
Yeah, but there's a slight problem with that. I'm with you. I'm absolutely with you. But the problem is, I spoke to Kev not so long ago, and he can't make October 26th. So I think we need to go back to the drawing board here. It's not going to be able to happen yet.
This is down to, because obviously, as I said to you guys prior to recording, the reason we went with October 26th is because that is Back to the Future Day. Yes, it's a Sunday, so we kind of needed that date. But if I'm right, it's MCM Comic Con that weekend, and being a cosplayer is so heavily involved.
Yep.
Right. Okay. So Kev versus Parky might be have to put on the back burner. Okay.
But I mean, to be honest, giving it some thought and based on a conversation I had with him as well, he did say, I'd love the match with Parky, but it's not going to work on October 26th, as I just said. However, why don't you allow him to therefore have the match against my best friend first? Why don't we allow him to have the match against the best friend first, being Johnny Royal? How do we feel about a match against Johnny Royal? Why don't we let Parky get to Johnny Royal first before he gets to Kev?
Okay, I like this.
I
At the same time, Johnny Royal was defending his title there. He put on a good match. He came away with the title still. I don't think, Johnny Royal's a good guy. Yes, there were other people involved in that. But I don't believe anything he did was, causing him to get that, but keep that belt in a non-sanctioned way. And it was all above board for him. I know he would love to be on the show again. He loves being in Basildon. It's his hometown. I like this. Okay.
I think as long as he's available as well, I think that's where we go. I think that's what we do.
Yeah.
And then we will absolutely book Kevin for next year, and we will revisit Kev Parky absolutely, because that needs to happen.
That has to happen. That has to happen without a doubt. Absolutely.
It also gives, Kev, he was a wrestler at one point. It gives him a bit more time to get into ring shape. Because the one thing I'm sure you guys as the GMs will agree is I want it to be a fair match, regardless. If when it comes to them two, both of them have been wrestlers before. Both of them have taken time out. Parky, if I'm right, by the looks of things, I think Parky's already in training because he's ready for a fight. So if he's not going to get his hands on Kev, I think he'll happily just take it out on anyone. And the next best thing is Kev's best friend.
Well, we know Parky. It will be a fair match as long as the ref don't go down. That's all I'm saying.
We may need to make sure check on who's going to be refereeing for that. That's the next question. And next time we catch up, maybe we'll figure out who's going to be overseeing, whether it be Elliot James, our head referee, or guest referee. That seemed to work quite well last time.
Hey, we still have our referee t-shirts, Parky. Just remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I don't want to.
Parky's got.
If we have to.
Own match. He's got a ref t-shirt.
That would be interesting, refereeing your own match, but then it's just like instant count for yourself, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we've got to be careful. But that brings me to another point, actually, because obviously, it'd be easy. You two do have your referee shirts, but also, as as coming from the Talk to Dorks team, I have to also think of conflict of interest. I don't want there to be anyone questioning the fact that even though you guys dealt with Parky in a fantastic way, you didn't choose friendship over any. You put the shows as priority. I don't want people to question conflict of interest, so maybe eliminate you guys from that, because, like I said, you two refereeing, it brings me to the next point. As we've seen,
What? Are you saying that us, as referees, wouldn't call the match straight down the middle? Is that what you're saying? We would
I'm not
face
saying that at all. I'm not saying that. But I believe a couple of guys who were in our main event may disagree with that. The Showtime Darlings, Mr. Dexter and the King of Slam, David Blackburn.
Those guys.
As you see from the video,
I saw the video.
out,
Yeah, I saw that video.
weren't too impressed.
Well, let me take this one, Jay. Obviously, on the night we were forced to get involved. We didn't want to get involved. We were there just to induct the rules. But I feel like myself, and I'm sure Jay will vouch for this as well, but we spent that whole match trying to restore order. I forgot we booked a Falls Count Anywhere match. It shouldn't have been that. They were in the crowd, they were at the bar, they were anywhere other than in the ring. And when they finally took the fight back into the ring, there was lots of foul play going down, including us, and enough was enough. So I think the solution here is simple, and I'm going to turn to my co-GM, Jay, of course. Why don't we look to therefore give them a rematch?
Yeah.
It's a similar scenario. I've been speaking with the Pom Bros, and they can't make the 26th either. AJ can't work it out of his flights. They are absolutely coming back. They have told me, AJ, Goonie Dad, they said they will absolutely be back next year. They just can't commit to this show. However, I've got an idea. Now stick with me. And I think Ryan's going to have to send some emails and maybe do some pleases and thank yous with this one. I know he said that he wasn't going to be wrestling and that he wasn't going to be around for this show. But Showtime Darlings, Strong Dads, anyone?
Ooh.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
how many you don't want to see that?
I mean,
I think you're onto something there.
Luckily, the match that RJ had second was with me, and it didn't end in. There's no love lost there. We've recorded a whole episode of the podcast happily together about Doctor Who, so we're okay. So, okay, yeah, I can reach out to RJ. I mean, yeah, he's just become a dad again. Congratulations, RJ, by the way. He's now completed his kingdom. The king and queen have their prince and princess officially, so very happy for him. But I think if I know RJ enough, and that's not saying he's not a fantastic dad, he'll be also itching to get back into the ring and to show his new little one what daddy does. And what? The way I like this idea is because, the Strong Dads versus the Kings of the Ring, a lot of that was built around the fact that the Kings of the Rings were being cocky about being the new guys and getting rid of the old talent, and they learned a very valuable lesson.
And
Don't
if anything,
discount people that are older.
Showtime Darlings need to be taught a lesson. Unbiased.
Well, yeah.
Unbiased. Sorry, unbiased. They
We shouldn't have to have done that, Jay. That's the problem, right?
Exactly.
We shouldn't have to have stepped in and delivered those stunners. We were forced to. We had to do what we had to do.
And that injury angle that they pulled on us, they abused our kindness and took it for weakness. And that's not going to happen again. That won't happen a second time.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, going back over the footage, when I saw the guys' video that they made, I was like, yeah, you could call them out, but you pulled a fast one, you dug your own grave in my eyes, and again, I'm at the top. This isn't you're the GMs. You make these matches, you make these decisions, but I agree with you. They do need a lesson tool. They do need to really. I think maybe next time we catch up, we can talk about what to do if anyone tries doing that again. But they are one thing we've got to address is that they don't want you guys refereeing for sure, and will probably not want you guys involved. Shall we address this? Are we gonna make sure just for their own peace of mind? I will happily. I know you guys are good GMs. I know you won't get involved in what you need to. Make that a thing that you guys won't be the referees, but you'll only interfere and step in if need be. Doesn't mean step in with a stunner, but step in if things get out of hand.
I can agree to that. I can agree to that. But what I will say is, if things do get out of hand, then expect a stunner. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean,
I love my GMs.
Listen, right? We like I said just a second ago, we did what we had to do. We should not, in the position that we were in, have had hands placed on us.
True.
At all. Period.
Wrestlers.
But at the same time, there was a reason why we chose you guys. Because yes, you're not wrestlers, but I knew from the minute I met you is that if I'm going to choose these guys to take control, they're going to deal with things in the right way. And I mean, listen, for me, I agree with what happened. Yes, sometimes the GM shouldn't get involved, but like you said, things were getting super out of hand, and you asserted authority. Yes, it might have led directly into them losing the match straight after that, but you make your bed, you lie in it, don't you?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And
I feel like the Darlings might have something to say about board members now trying to get involved, but listen, we run a wrestling company, we don't run a crash.
do that.
This is TalkDork Wrestling, not TalkDork Soft Play. Speaking of that, I'm pretty sure I saw a video of Mr. Dexter jumping around in a bouncy castle in full gear the other day, so he can't say nothing.
Well, there you go.
Gentlemen, is there anything you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up, or should we continue this next time we catch up?
Nothing off the top of my head.
Yeah, no, nothing else from me. Obviously looking forward to October 26th. Hopefully we can see hopefully we see the same people we did before, many familiar faces, but also many new ones too.
I believe we will.
Mm-hmm.
Tickets are on sale now, and there are, if you haven't seen it, there are different versions of tickets. You can get your standard tickets, you can get your family tickets, but we're also making sure that we have it prepared. If you are one of those that is definitely going to be buying one of our t-shirts that are on sale, you can pre-order your t-shirt, send us your sizes, get your t-shirts ready, we'll have it there. And this time, the boys have seen a little sneak peek. We've got more than one design coming, and I reckon some people are going to want a little collection going. I mean, I love wearing this t-shirt. I don't know you guys, I love wearing this because I'm so proud of wearing this, walking around. Get tickets, get booked in. Hey, why are you going to miss out? Everyone knows how good last one went. Next one's only going to be bigger and better.
Onwards and upwards.
Absolutely.
We've confirmed 100% Johnny Royal versus Parky's going to happen. Just got to make sure Johnny Royal's okay with it. I'm sure he will be. And we're going to try and look at Showtime Darlings versus the Strong Dads. I'm very happy with this, boys. I love these decisions. Keep saying it. That's why we chose you. If you haven't already, like, follow, subscribe, do all that cool stuff. Go follow all of us on our social medias. That's Stone Cold Stalley. That's J Wrestle Talk. I'm the DJ Ryan S, if you want to call me that, or just whatever. This is Talk Dork Wrestling. This is Talks with Dorks. See you later.
That was in sync. Didn't even plan that.